Well, you know you're coming to the end of an era when some of your favorite actors and actresses starts to die off. So according to NPR.org, Harry Belafonte has passed away today, folks, at the age of 96. Calypso King, who worked for African American rights, dies at the age of 96, folks. He just passed away. So, singer, actor, producer, and activist Harry Belafonte, who spawned a calypso craze in the US with his music and blazed new trails for African American performers, died on Tuesday of congestive heart failure at his Manhattan home. He was 96 years old, an award winning Broadway performer and a versatile recording and concert star of the 50s. The handsome Belafonte became one of the first black leading men in Hollywood. He later branched into production work on theatrical films and telepics as his career stretched into the new millennium. His commitment to social changes never took a backseat to his professional work. A close friend of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Belafonte was an important voice in the 60s civil rights movement, and he later embarked on charitable activities on the behalf of undeveloped African nations. He was an outspoken opponent of South Africa's apartheid policies. He was among the most honored performers of his era. Belafonte won 2 Grammy Awards and Recording Academy's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2000, a Tony Award, and an Emmy. He also received the Motion Picture Academy's Jean Herschel's Humanitarian Award at the Governor's Award ceremony in the year 2014. So here's a little background story on Harry Belafonte. His real name was Harold George Belafonte Jr., and he was born in New York. A lot of people thought he was born somewhere in the Caribbean, but he was born in New York and was sent to live with his grandmother in Jamaica at the age of 5. Returning back to New York to attend a high school in New York City, so he had an early music career. But Harry Belafonte also served in the war, and the branch of service he joined was the Navy. And after he was done serving in the war, he gravitated to the New York City theatrical scene. An earlier mentor was famed black actor and singer and activist Paul Robeson. He studied acting with Erwin Piscator and attended Broadway shows on a single ticket along with other struggling young actors. What they would do, one person buy a ticket, they hand it to the next person, and I guess they would split the money for the cost of the ticket. However they did it, but it was a single ticket that they all attended Broadway shows on. And they would pass it down from one person to the next. You're done looking at the show, the next person goes in. And this would happen during intermission. So Harry Belafonte first made his mark as a nightclub singer. Initially, he worked in pop and jazz and began his singing career at New York's Royal Roast. So the Royal Roast was a jazz club located in the Broadway district, in the theater district actually of Manhattan in New York City. So he was fast developing a growing interest in African American folk music. So a national tour and dates at New York's Village Vanguard and Blue Angel followed. A scout from MGM spotted him at the latter venue, the Blue Angel venue, and he asked him to do a screen test. And following the screen test, Belafonte secured a role opposite Dorothy Dandridge in Bright Road in 1953. That same year, Belafonte made his Rialto debut in the review John Murray Anderson's Almanac, for which he received a Tony for Best Performance by a Featured Actor in a Musical. Ironically, while Belafonte was cast as a lead in Otto Premiger's 1954 musical Carmen Jones, based on Oscar Hammerstein, its Broadway adaptation of Brisette's opera Carmen. His singing voice was dubbed by opera singers. He could not carry those type of notes, so they had other opera singers sing his part. And the singer, the opera singer who sang that particular part in the movie, his name is Laverne Hutcherson. But that did not stop Harry Belafonte because he exploded in his own right as a pop singer. He made his RCA record debut in 1954 with Mark Twain and other folk favorites. He had performed with many actors and actresses, singers, but I think one of his most memorable collaboration was with Miriam Makeba, who was a folk artist singer. Harry Belafonte have a long list of accolades and accomplishments over the years. But as his activism in the civil rights movement became more involved, he appeared less and less on the big screen and even put out less music. He became very close to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and was very much involved in the civil rights movement. We have barely skirted the issue about how many civil rights issues around the world Harry Belafonte was involved in. He was against apartheid in South Africa. He opposed the U.S. embargo on Cuba, and he wanted George W. Bush to pull the troops out of Iraq. So nearing the end of his life, he was still very much involved in political activism as well as humanitarian activism. So Harry Belafonte died at the age of 96 years old. He was married 3 times and have 4 children from 2 of his marriages. He has 5 grandchildren. He died on April the 25th, 2023 at the age of 96. He died today, a few hours ago. We're sending our condolences out to the family. And may his soul rest in peace. YouTubers, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm over and out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.